the real medicine for we. You can smoke it, eat it, rub it, or drink it as tea. Ooh-wee. People not taking it just for the thrill. Them prescribe marijuana for the terminally ill. Good for the stress, man, it help you for chill. Drink it or you smoke it, man, you take it as you will.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You know I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. It's education and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are being broadcasted live here at lifestyleradio.net. We're also at Spreaker, and we're also in the front window here at Canada's in Campbellford. I'm your host, Al Graham. Today on the program, I'm joined by Northern Ontario Kim Cooper for third or fourth week in a row. And she has brought us a couple of guests, and the key word is couple. And these people love to cook up a storm and help patients every day. But before we meet them, Kim and I are going to gab, aren't we, Kim?
We sure are, Al. Great to be back for the third week in a row. It's been a long stretch this month.
Yes, yeah. Well, today would have been Alicia's turn in the rotation, and you switched to allow you to go to the city next week for some cannabis events.
Yes, I'm heading down to Toronto. As most people already know, I'm going to head into Toronto and be taking part at the final 420 event at the location at Yonge and Dundas, where it's been held for quite a number of years now. They've got to change the location, so I was at the first one, want to be at the last one, and Alicia was gracious enough to change weeks with me so I could make that trip happen.
Good stuff, yeah. I've never attended the 420 at Yonge and Dundas.
Really? It's quite an event. I haven't been for, it has to be at least 6 years since the last time I was there. And I think it's doubled in size since I was there last. It's an enormous.
Yeah, it's packed. There's a lot of people down there, that's for sure. See all the pictures every year, right? I have friends to go down. I have some friends that like to go down there, so. All right, in news, we're all really waiting and anticipating to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, big day tomorrow for everybody. Federal government coming out with their legalization platform, which is apparently going to take effect at some point in 2018, prior to Canada Day. Pretty much everybody on the edge of the seats, waiting to see what the Trudeau government is going to put out.
I'm here at the store. I'm looking over at the sign. It says Cannabis Day, July the 1st.
Yeah, there was quite a ruckus, I guess, in the government when they announced that legalization platform was going to be released, or it was going to take effect Canada Day, in and around Canada Day. And a great number of people poured out and said, no, you can't turn it into Cannabis Day. And so now they're saying it's going to take place earlier than that.
Yeah, that's what I had read as well. And, really, tomorrow, I guess it's sort of, you could say we've been hearing things, the drips and drabs have been, coming out. There's been reports in the papers, there's been reports on the TV. So it's almost as if it's going to be confirming everything that we've already heard or read.
Yeah, lots of leaks on this. It's not been, not kept the lid on it very well at all. There's been quite a few leaks and news reports coming out from different major medias on things that they've heard. So tomorrow will be the day we find out what it's all about.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, noon, 12:05 or something is the announcement I seen. Question and answer period about 1:20. So it'll be interesting to see what, and even there's stuff that people don't like. There will be lots of stuff that people won't like, but you don't stop. We got to keep going because the provinces people who are advocating to get cannabis legal for people who are 21 or 25, they'll keep going right at the provinces because they're going to be the ones that are going to set those age limits and other things within this in the legislation. So even though the Liberals have gone that far, you still got to keep going at the provincial governments.
Yep, absolutely. The rumor mill has it that most of the powers are going to be passed down to provinces. They're the ones that are making the final decision. So individual provinces are still going to have to fight for rights. There's no question there. As far as it being great, well, yeah, we're going to bitch because it's not going to be perfect. No first draft of anything ever is.
No, exactly. It'd be nice if they picked up some of the stuff. I know it's comparison to alcohol, but the craft cannabis, the being able to purchase cannabis in places where there's entertainment. Same as we can do that with beer. And, the sort of the things are there. They can do it. It depends on how quickly they really want to implement those things. And,
absolutely.
Whether people are looking. Would they think it's too strong to start with? I don't know.
Yeah,
I know we would like it that way, but
I'll be happy if they follow the task force guidelines.
Yeah.
I was happy with them in the majority of the guidelines come out from the task force. If this government puts forward a platform that follows those guidelines, I will be jumping for joy.
I'm much happier than what we've got now, that's for sure. But I still like to be able to grow a plant that's bigger than 100 or a meter tall, right?
Oh, absolutely. Still lots to bitch about, still lots to do, but it's a place to start.
That's right. Exactly. That's the way I look at it too. It's better to fight to improve legalization than have to fight for legalization.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's move on to our guests, who I said mentioned are a couple. A couple of people who like to they have a bit of a sweet tooth, I would say. And I love to cook up a storm, so I'd like to say welcome to Doug and Michelle Sikora, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show.
Hey, Kim. Hey, Al.
Hey, how you doing, Michelle and Doug?
We're doing great. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. We're patients, so we have our times.
Yeah, you want patience, you should be in our shoes.
No, yes. We were just listening. Tomorrow's a very big day coming, and I couldn't agree with you anymore, Cam, that I'd love to see that they just follow the recommendations of the task force as a starting point, and let's work from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big step. For years, I can remember everybody was fighting for decriminalization. Well, it looks like that's gone right to the wayside, and the legalization. And like with alcohol, unfortunately, there's still laws around alcohol, and there'll still be laws around cannabis.
Yeah,
that's right, and there should be.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what all happens and how the provinces react to it. And as you were seeing, there's been 3 Western provinces in Quebec that have been, sort of making a little bit of noise about having to pay for some of this stuff. So, will they legalize at the same time as others?
Yeah, big questions. Big questions for everybody.
Yeah, alcohol wasn't, it was the provinces came on board at different times, right?
Yep,
that's it. I don't think the province, they all need to just do it Canada-wide. You can't do it province by province because that wouldn't be fair to other provinces. So if BC went ahead and fully legalized, why shouldn't the rest of the Alberta, Manitoba, and all the other provinces do the same thing immediately? You don't do it slowly because you're just going to piss the public off if you do it that way. You need to do it one and all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we'd like to see. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, Kim, I'm going to let you get firing away with the questions on these two. And as always, I'll jump in as we go along.
Sounds good. I'll look forward to your input as always.
Oh, I gotta hang on. I gotta say, welcome back, you two. It's been a year since you've been on the show.
Yeah,
thanks, Al.
Yeah, thanks, Al. It's been 1 year, 1 week, kind of weird, and then tomorrow big day. It's kind of erotic.
We've got one heck of a week going here, one heck of a show with a whole bunch of anniversaries. a year and a week since you were last on our show. Your grand opening happened just a little over a month ago for your brand new storefront. For people out there that don't know who you guys are, and I don't know who that could be, but in case there are some, that's Doug and Michelle Sakura from S&M Sweet Shop, Medicinal Sweet Shop. You guys have been in business for a number of years, I think over 4 years now. You operated a mail order dispensary for medicinal sweets, and you've just recently opened up your brand new storefront and have my notes tell me in the short time you've been open, you've already signed up over 260 brand new clients. Wow.
Yes,
it has been a heck of a road for you guys.
Yeah, Gibson's, the town of Gibson's has been absolutely wonderful. People have welcomed us with open arms and come in and thanked us for providing the service that we do. And actually, today, April 12th, is the 4-year anniversary of Doug creating the very first S&M Sweet Shop Lollipop. It was 4 years ago today.
More anniversaries.
Filled with anniversaries today. What a great time to have you on the show and let people know all about what you guys are doing. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on how you all got started and how did this all come to be?
I guess that would be my turn to talk. Well, basically, after being injured on construction for a lot of years, and then not realizing the system putting me on pills and just to keep me quiet and keep me going, I basically got myself off of pills on being on opiates over 23 years by making the candy that I now produce for our clients. The opiates I was on was OxyContin for the last 5 years of my last of my prescription drugs over 3 years ago. They had me hooked up to this WCB that I was having issues with, and basically I finally one day woke up and seen a show, and it woke me up, and I walked in the doctor's office, and basically I went cold turkey and ended up in the hospital for 3 days. It was nothing I'd wish upon anybody, I'll tell you that. But then I made the candy, and that's how I got off the painkillers.
Excellent. Another one patient, another entrepreneur making a business start out of being a patient, out of mother necessity, once again.
That's what we've always promoted, is that both me and Michelle are patients before we were even thinking of starting this business, and then we realized other friends, family, just outside people coming to us randomly, started using it and helping, and that's where we went, hey, you know what, we can help a lot of people here. So we just put our foot down and we went forth. And then the crazy candy man here started coming out with this crazy stuff all the time because I just can't stop.
The creative energy you have is unbelievable. Now, it hasn't been an easy road for you guys.
Well, I think, quite honestly, it's a really good therapy tool for Doug as well, helping other people. I mean, what could be better?
Absolutely. And it wasn't an easy road for you guys to get where you are today. There's been a lot of major hurdles. Not everybody in your neck of the woods is a big fan.
No, we don't call it hurdles, Kim. We call it our roller coaster ride. Come on, jump in the seat and see what fun it is if you want to really go for a roller coaster ride of your life. Michelle could tell you more about that one.
We've faced a lot of discrimination by our local community. Well, not necessarily our community, our neighbors. They were both in different levels of public service, law enforcement, we'll say, that didn't like what we do, and they've tried to ruin our life and make it hell for us. They were the cause of the whole raid that happened to us back in 2015, which is all coming out in court now. It's been the road to hell that we've been on in the last 2 years dealing with this, but we've kept persevering. And like I've said to Doug, the 3 Ps, positivity, perseverance and persistency, you will always win out in the end.
That's going to be custom painted on our wall in our store, because if it wasn't for that and her teaching me my patience, we wouldn't be where we're at.
And you got to have patience for your patients.
No, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. But it's been a crazy road, and now we're down here in Gibsons, and like I said, the town of Gibsons, the community has just been absolutely wonderful. The people that work for the town of Gibsons have been absolutely wonderful. It's been such a change from dealing with the town of Sechelt, which is a 10-minute drive away.
Amazing, amazing. And now you've got your storefront. I mean, you mentioned your legal issues are coming to a head in the near future. Can you give us some background on what's going on with that, Michelle?
Oh, Christmas is going to come soon.
So our trial started April 4th, so we were in trial last week for 3 days. On the second day, we entered into a voir dire, which is, in essence, a trial within a trial, due to the fact that it was brought out that back when the RCMP raided us, at that time on November 28th, 2015, we weren't charged at that time. But when they raid you, they get a detention order, which is good for 90 days. The detention order was set to expire February 26th. When I went to the courts to apply to have our items returned, which is necessary according to law, I was told at that time that the RCMP had gotten an extension of the detention order on February 18th, almost 2 weeks prior to the original expiring, and no charges had been laid yet. So when they apply for an extension order, the person to whom the items were seized from must be given a notice of hearing, especially when there's no charges laid, because you have a right to say to the Justice of the Peace why your items should be returned to you. So because they didn't do that, that's a total infringement of our rights. So technically, they've had all of our items in possession since February 18, 2016, illegally seized. So when we were in court on April 5th at the voir dire, the Crown Counsel conceded to the fact that, yes, this has happened. It goes against every principle, fundamental right of justice. And the lead investigator who did this was on the stand, and he admitted that, yes, in fact, he infringed our rights by not giving us a notice of hearing. So we go back to court on April 18th, and we give our final submissions, and then the judge decides what remedy can flow from the charter infringements. Now, according to the grant test, they have to look at what the charge is. So right now we're charged with selling 19 pieces of candy and 4 tea bags.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
The total weight of marijuana in that, by the way, is 2.6 grams. At least that's what we say. Nobody else can say otherwise.
Oh, and they've confiscated all your property for over a year, put you through hell for that.
Yep. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the Crown Counsel had said also that there has never, ever been a case that she can find that a notice of hearing was not given. So just that fact alone is a precedent-setting case.
So they've admitted this on the stand. The prosecutors conceded. The investigator took an oath and swore, yep, it happened. So are you expecting to have remedy delivered right after your final submissions?
Yeah, the remedy we're looking at is because of our smaller community. You got to remember, this is Sunshine Coast, a very elite kind of area. The way I say that is like there's only 34,000 people basically on the Sunshine Coast as of now from point to point. We're known from that point to point. They have disgraced us. It's just unbelievable because of us even having to cover up our van. We've been driving around with our van covered up. They wanted us to remove our stickers. We refused because we said, unless you give us $2,000 to replace these after this is said and done, we're not ripping these things off. we're going to cover it up, and we agreed to a point, and we had to cover up our insignia, our logo, certain parts, take off our we had to actually pull off our S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop, our website, and drive around town like this. And people are always looking at us, questioning, wondering why. And one way it worked for us because then it gave information to people that didn't know us. That worked in a way for us, but didn't work the way they were hoping. But in the same way, it embarrassed us in our small community. Like, well, how do you compensate for that?
But what remedy that we're hoping will flow is obviously that all the charges get dismissed. But also when back on March 8th, 2016, when we were in court on my application to the judge to have our items returned, that is the day, 5 minutes before we went into court, is when the charges were laid against us. So when we went into court, the Crown said, well, now that charges have been laid, it's an issue to be presented to the trial judge. So that's where we're at right now. So on March 8th, according to the Criminal Code, Section 490, Part 11, I believe, it states that when items are seized, if the person whom they were seized from had a legal right to have them, which we do, then the items can be returned, especially if they're perishable items prior to them perishing. Or if they do perish, then the RCMP has to pay the monetary value of what the perishable items were. So we know that there's been many cases where the RCMP have had to return dried cannabis to people. So now this is going to be, again, the first case where they're going to have to give us monetary value for the edibles that they seized. And according to the RCMP, we will concede to the fact that they took, it was just over $41,000 worth of edible products. So that's what I'm going to be asking for on the 18th.
I see why you said it was going to be Christmas. Well, you'll have to keep me updated, and we will definitely keep the site updated with the progress on this case. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that this is happening in the province of British Columbia.
Well, especially this is virtually the same case that Owen Smith went up against. Yeah. When he was charged in 2012, this is exactly the same case. So why are we even here again? This was decided in the Supreme Court of Canada. That's what I tried to say to the Crown Counsel. You sure you want to proceed with this?
Yeah, we've already won this. I was at that trial. I listened to Kirk Tusaw, and I was on the edge of my seat the day the verdict came in. This has been.
So were we. We were cheering like you wouldn't believe, too.
Countering this in a lot of communities, though, and we were discussing this earlier about the federal law and it being, provincially legislated and having the rights turned down to municipalities. They can choose to opt out of allowing sales. And I don't understand, I can't wrap my head around how they're allowed to do that when we've got that Supreme Court ruling.
Well, that's it. And look at what, so the doctors have been made the gatekeepers of the system now. And then you have the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, let alone the provincial ones that regulate, but they're mandating doctors, telling them that we don't know about cannabis. You can't prescribe cannabis. And if you do, all the provinces are different. Like in Alberta, if a doctor prescribes cannabis, they have to register just as if they were prescribing methadone. In the province BC, Saskatchewan, and Quebec, not that doctors are doing this, but they can. There is, and I posted it, I don't know if you've seen it, Kim, it's a written consent agreement form, and on there it states that the doctor can request that you provide a urine test at any time. It states that they can hand over your medical records to law enforcement at any time. It states that they can talk to any member of your family at any time. So a complete violation of a patient's right.
No doubt. I mean, like, how come they can do this? But you know what? Let's say you go to your doctor, Kim, and you've got an STD and you got prescribed penicillin. Does your doctor tell Health Canada that you have that? Because I think that's a bigger safety hazard than free and smoking marijuana.
Yeah, absolutely. And some doctors are making patients sign some outrageous forms that go against a patient's right and under doctor-patient confidentiality.
Oh, 100%.
My advice to anybody
100%.
that gets one of those forms is always find a new doctor.
Yep, that's right, because you know what? People got to realize you're actually the person that's paying that doctor. The doctor talks to you like they rule you. You have to understand, if they're not telling you what you want to hear, like they're telling you got to take this pill. Well, no, I don't want to take that pill. Is there not an alternative like what we do? Yes, there is, and that's what our biggest client has been. And since we've opened, out of that membership, I'd say over 75% of our members are 65 to 90. It's unbelievable.
Amazing, you know, and and that's the generation where really a lot of this all began. I mean, when you look at it, Ozzy Osbourne is in his 70s.
Yep.
Yeah. People who,
right?
The people who
but he's still rocking.
Look at him.
And he's cancer free.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now, and somebody needs to take the College of Physicians and Surgeons to court because they're violating their patients' rights and saying, oh, it goes against our code of ethics. Well, what about the rest of their code of ethics where they're supposed to be there for their patient?
Yeah,
and they're not.
What were you going to say, Al?
Yeah, okay. It slipped.
Al doesn't know what to say. Hey, you eating that bubble gum there, Al?
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get in there an edge in word wise, so I just went, oh, okay. That's fine. We're almost ready to go to break. We got a few minutes.
Oh, shit. Oh, well, life happens, eh?
Yeah.
We're all getting up there. I think it was something about Ozzy Osbourne being 71.
Oh, that's what it was. It was. I was going to say that the person in, say, 1965 to 1970, at 20 years of age, are now that person who is 65, 70 years of age.
Exactly.
Yep. You got her.
Yep.
And those are the people that started smoking marijuana back then. And now, like we've talked about this, Michelle, is that you're going to see this generation of people that don't have problems. And that's going to be our generation that grew up smoking pot, and we went through this. Not like the kids in the generation now, because the generation now, with the sadder these kids try out, but like it's not like when we started smoking pot, let's say. It was only like 12%. You know what I mean? It's the sensibility of that. So we grew up on learning about this, but low tolerance. Whereas now, these kids, instead of starting out even smoking pot, they start out by smoking a shatter or a thing, which is a little extreme for somebody first starting out smoking marijuana to try.
Yeah, you shouldn't start with extracts. I don't.
No,
I know.
No, exactly, because that is nowadays it is too extreme. Like when we were growing up, and like our generation in that area, we did not have an extract where you're going to smoke in one puff a whole joint. Like, come on, wow.
Well, unless you're an adult, anyway. I mean, if we're talking, it depends on the demographic that we're talking about. Because some of my patients, I recommend distill it right off the bat. But we're talking about people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and up. So, but if we're talking about younger generation and youth use, then they should stay away from the extracts until they've at least experienced a bomb.
Yeah,
exactly. It's sort of like, with alcohol, a person can get drunk on one beer, whereas another person takes, a dozen.
That's exactly, Al. We say that every day to our patients. You know what? One of my gummy bears, you might be able to cut into 8 pieces, and the next patient might be able to eat 2, and you get the same effect from it.
Yeah. And, new people into it, I can see concentrates might be a little bit strong for them if they're not used to consuming. So.
Yeah, well, it's a higher milligrams per toke or per ingestion that you're getting with an extract over a flower.
Yeah. I think.
That's exactly it. And I think one of the biggest things, and me and Michelle, and I'll let Michelle talk more about this, but with the milligram things, I think they really, really need to look into before you're allowed to put a milligram on a candy or anything. You have to first, how much marijuana? What is the percentage of marijuana? Comparison percentage to what we use, organic coconut oil, but most recipes use butter. Okay, so if you're going to use 1 pound of organic coconut oil, 1 pound of butter, what percentage is your pot, and how much pot are you using to that 1 pound of butter?
There's a lot of math.
Yeah. That's when you can say your percentage per milligram is this. Yeah. Let's get this to an exact point, everybody.
I think what Doug's pretty much saying is we've chosen not to put milligrams on our cookie like a lot of people do. It's just because until we can accurately say percentage per milligram, that's just the standard that we've chosen to take.
If you can't guarantee your number, then that makes sense, right?
And right now, people are basing it on a formula, whereas an actual testing of the product would give you
so that's why, that's another reason why we chosen not to supply other dispensaries with our products, because we know how our products work. We know how our products are made. So if somebody's going to use our product, we want them to be able to come and talk to us and give them an accurate dosage for them. So that's kind of,
that's
and
another
again,
one,
that's the standard that we've set for ourselves.
And that's another portion of the niche sort of operation that you run. And we're going to get into all of that and more about S&M Sweet Shop right after the next break.
After our break, which we're just about to go to. I was just waiting for you to finish there, Kim.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear some music from Like Mosquitoes. And being that we're dealing with some people who are dealing with justice issues tonight, the song is called Justice. Yeah. And then Kim and I will continue our talk with Doug and Michelle Sikora of S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop. This is the Pace Radio Show here at lifestyleradio.net.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Power to the people, every soul is equal. Overcome the systems and the rise above the evil. The poor keep getting stronger and the rich can't.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
The following is a public service announcement from the Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society. The Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to ensuring improved access to therapeutic cannabis and cannabis byproducts in Canada. With a federal government that has committed to legalizing cannabis, we feel it is our duty to ensure that the medicinal use of cannabis doesn't get lost in the process and that there are clear distinctions made between the medicinal and recreational use of cannabis. It is our mission to ensure that government regulation doesn't get in the way of a sick, disabled, or terminally ill person's right to use or produce this amazing natural health product. If you would like to get involved, you can contact us on the internet. www.canadiantherapeuticCannabisPartners.com, on Facebook, CTCP Society, or search Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners.
CTCP now operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888. And grow on with CTCP.
Man, have you been to Canada's yet? Canada's, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck, Crop King, and wholesaler Nexus. Canada's. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? Canada's can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. Canada's. Have your say without saying a word. Canada's.ca.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
Hey, we're back, and we are the Pace Radio Show, and we are live here at lifestyleradio.net. We're also live at Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, as well as Shoutcast. And talking about live shows, listen to Lifestyle Radio this summer, as the 420 Road Show will be broadcasting live on location from several events. This would include a few 420 celebrations, Global Marijuana March, Lift Expo, Cannabis Day Peterborough, Karma Cup, and other locations and celebrations. So if you can't make it to these events, tune into lifestyleradio.net, and we'll make you feel like you're there. Tonight on the program, we are joined by our guests, Doug and Michelle Sora from S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop, and my joint host, Kim Cooper. Well, Kim, we're into the second segment.
We are. Time's flying by.
Yeah, I've got a question for our guests. And I have actually two questions. Doug and Michelle, you guys are up on your fighting courts and some charges and stuff for basically doing what you're doing that you got a business license for. So,
yep.
Doesn't that seem a little weird? You get a business license for something that you're being charged?
I know, right? And not only do we not just have a business license, we also have our certification of incorporation. We also have from the federal government, and we also have our BC provincial business number.
And we're registered with Canada Post, too, for priority shipping.
So we have 3 levels of government that have recognized the S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop, which goes back to February 2015, is when we registered our company with the federal and provincial government.
Yeah, with all these charges, you've been able to do all that. Were your business license for the town that your store's at? There was no pushback.
Nope, no. We walked into the town of Gibson's and it was like, oh, you want a business license? Okay. We were in and out of there in 20 minutes.
Doug wanted to do the happy dance like you wouldn't believe. Michelle kept kicking me in the shin to shut me up because I couldn't believe it. And we walked out of there with dumbfounded looks on our face. It's like they were waiting for us because we had met with the mayor 2+ years ago. We've dealt with all the councils in Gibson's and Seychelles, worked with more Seychelles because that's where we live, but the town of Gibson's opened their arms more to us. So we said, you know what? If they're doing this, we're going to help them. They helped us. That's the way it works. We're welcomed here, so that's where we're setting up shop.
Sure. Yeah.
Well,
sure.
now Seychelles has lost all that revenue.
Yeah. That's the business. That's
And the town of Gibson's was voted 2 years in a row as the best place to live in the entire world, and now they're the home of the S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop.
Which makes it even better.
I'm going to have to look at the real estate market. Okay, and the second question I had for Michelle was that from what I'm seeing online, you're basically representing the two of you?
Yes, I have been. We've been to court 14 times
15.
now.
Sorry, 15.
Oh, sorry, 15 times. And
hang on, and I'm going to brag for my wife. Our record is 14-0-1. That's 14 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie.
Nice record. Very good. Very good.
No, the judge has been so extremely complimentary to me that he's been so impressed. He's almost brought me to tears. Like, it's, yeah. But I mean, I've had to do it on my own. We're responsible for our own lives. Just like we're responsible for our health. So I knew that the only person who would be able to do this with as much passion is myself.
Yeah.
We could pay a lawyer $50,000-$60,000.
We would have been over that. Probably would have been up towards $100,000 by now.
I just don't think that they would have had the same passion for this as I do.
And you're self-educated, like you're not a lawyer, you haven't been to law school.
I didn't even graduate high school.
This is a hidden secret that I wish my life we would have known this a long time ago.
No, I just had to educate myself, and it's been a lot of hours. Like, I can't even count how many hours and how many years it's aged me, but it's definitely all worthwhile. I mean,
there's been a lot of stress in our life, I'll tell you guys. Seriously, besides the court cases, trying to get this company open, run our business, I've done all the renovations in this store. Michelle's had to run all the court cases, and I've been, between that, and we've already hired, this is the other thing, we've already hired 2 employees for a company right now, and that was within the first 2 weeks of us opening a store. We're already planning on hiring another 2 employees within the next month, because that's the way we wanted to do our company, was keep it community-wise, try to help our community out by not only increasing tourism, but also helping employ people in our community and keeping the money generating in our community. That's what we've always said from the start.
Awesome, fantastic. So you're employing people, you're paying taxes. I mean, the road to self-educating yourself, to represent yourself in court, I mean, this just shows people it can be done if you have the drive.
It can be done. Yeah.
The 3 Ps, like my wife has always taught me.
Patience, perseverance, and persistency. It pays off in the end.
Yes. Yeah, it does. I was thinking 3 Ps, puff, puff, pass.
There you go. Well, that too. But no, I always said to our clients, even before the raid happened, they were like, well, aren't you worried you're going to get in trouble, or am I going to get in trouble? And I said to them, I'm willing to go to jail for you, because that's how much I believe in what we do.
We've always said that you know what, for our clients, especially when you have somebody that has cancer that is coming around, is on the rebound, and we find that he might be on this big rebound, just motivates us so much more that we are willing to go to jail for our patients.
Well, that's a commendable attitude to have for a business platform, and have a very dedicated client base, I'm sure.
It's strange, because back in 2001, I was raided for cultivation, and I was sent to jail. I spent 75 days in jail, and I served a year and a half of house arrest and 2 years probation. And now here I am with a legal license to do the exact same thing that I served time for.
Yeah, we've come a long way. We've still got a long way to go, but we have definitely come a long way.
It's just the irony sometimes when I sit back and think about it. It just baffles me, where we're at nowadays.
Yeah. And speaking of where we're at, S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop, the stuff that you guys do there, for people that may not be aware, you are a seed-to-table shop. You guys grow your own medicinal cannabis organically. You process the cannabis into edible products with the wizard behind the mind over there with this creative abilities and wonderful flavor combinations, and produce this awesome medicinal candy for everybody to enjoy. What a great concept.
That's the thing. I mean, we started this, when you think about it, like 18 years ago, because we're using the fruit that we've been growing in our yard for the last 18 years in all of our baking, which we have 53 different varieties of fruit that we grow. I've got 17 different types of organic tea blends that I make into medicinal teas that we grow at home in our yard. So, when people come to us and say, oh, well, $8 for a lollipop, that seems a little pricey. Well, a lot of people can grow marijuana and put it into a bag. But to do what we do, it takes a talent. It takes a lot of time, effort, energy, money.
Love.
Yeah. And
you know what?
I don't find
Try
that
to
pricey
put
at all.
Organic coconut oil into a hard candy. Good luck. Second of all, try to make a coconut mint shortbread cookie with a strawberry glazed topping, not made with any butter, any margarine, only coconut oil. It took me 3 days. I was so determined. I didn't sleep for basically about 8 hours in those 3 days.
The determined baker.
Yeah, well, the candy man just loves what he does. When I see a smile on somebody's face when they bite into one of my cookies, that makes me happy. That's it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Or last week when we had a lady who came in and she had shingles all over her abdomen, down her side, around her back, and she had tried every painkiller, steroid, you name it, she had tried it and nothing would work. She decided to try cannabis. Well, she came back the next day bawling her eyes out and hugging me because she found something. It was the only thing that worked for her.
Well,
so when we see that, how can you say, I'm sorry, I can't help you?
Yeah. It's an amazing plant, that's for sure. It can do a lot. The creations that you make, quite frankly, I don't find $8 pricey at all. Most candies in the Toronto vicinity are $10, and if you go out of town, they're higher than that. So $8.
We found a lot of that too came up here, and I've been actually a lot of people that from California, Colorado, telling me that our prices should basically be tripled. And you know what? We're satisfied that we're not out to make profit over patients. We're over the patient thing. I'd rather help them out if we can make a half decent living, if we can, and survive and help all these patients out, and also help patients like we do to people that we actually give it away for free when they can't afford our stuff. They're dying of cancer. And when you see a face like that, I tell you what, that just stabs you in the heart, and I'll do anything in my life to help somebody like that.
Yeah, well, you're extremely generous. I know that. You help many, as you say, pro bono over the time that you've been operating. There's several clients in my region, in my neck of the woods, that now use your services as well. I know that. And I love the fact that you've also incorporated that you also supply medicinal products for pets.
Yes, we do. Well, we've rescued Rottweilers, and typically, normally older ones with health conditions, for the last 20 years.
I see your puppies on Instagram.
We started making them for our own dogs. And then it just, wow, what are you using on your dogs? And then it just went from there. And now we've got at least 24 four-legged patients. And it's been a miracle. Absolute miracle.
Yeah. Well, they're fantastic. What were you going to say, Al?
They have a few puppies. I see them posting pictures of the puppies. And
we've got 3 Rottweilers, and every day we have a different one at the store to greet. Kayla May is our registered therapy dog. She's an emotional support dog. Doug has PTSD, so that's his dog, but she's at the store quite often for people that like to come in that need some puppy loving. So that's a service that we provide as well, free of charge. Come on in and get free puppy love.
Puppy love, exactly. Talking about puppy love, you guys were talking about the prices of some of your stuff. I'm on your website here. You got things here for $5.
Yeah, I find their prices fairly cheap comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you still get the odd person that comes in, and, oh, well, that's too expensive. Or you get the people that come in and oh, well, I need to get a deal. And you know what? I'm going to get a shirt made up that says, I am not a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Trying to break that stigma with people is the most difficult challenge. Yeah. Even people that say, oh, I fully support you, I believe you, and I believe in what you're doing, but then they'll treat you like you're just the average drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And it's infuriating.
Instead of the fact that you're actually helping patients and giving them an alternative. North America wide, we're dealing with a great big opiate epidemic, and cannabis can go such a long way in order to change all that.
Yeah, we got a long way to go still.
That's right, we sure do. Your canine treats, as Ken mentioned, you guys got them available. What are they? I see a picture here.
They're a full CBD treat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Candyman makes it again. It's a blend that we do with it. We have so many different things that are helping our dogs out. It's like even our own rescues, 3 rescues. Michelle will tell you more about it. It's unbelievable.
So because we've had all of our items tested now, thanks to the Raid in Health Canada, the product that we get that goes into the dog treats was one of the ones that got tested. Now, it doesn't come back with a percentage, but it comes back, and we didn't realize this, that not just CBD is in it, but also CBGs. So the cannabidiol. So that's what is in the dog treats.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Lots of talk about CBG these days.
Yes, definitely. And then, our tincture has been, it's blowing our minds lately on the different things that people are coming to us and telling us what it's worked for, things that we had no idea.
I'm looking at your tincture and your oil products now. They look great.
And with our oil, you hear a lot of people marketing oil as Phoenix Tears. Well, I don't call it Phoenix Tears. I call it high THC or I have my high CBD oil.
We just call it the S&M oil. That's it.
Yeah. I just feel that, when people call it Phoenix Tears, that was something a man named Rick Simpson, who we all know, marketed a product as his. So I don't agree with people calling their product Phoenix Tears.
You may make it the same as what he did, but make it your own so that it is identified as what you made. So if it isn't as good quality as what he does, you shouldn't be calling it the same thing.
I mean, not all chocolate is called Hershey's.
That's right. And as far as his methodology goes, I think the only key thing that anybody needs to do to make a similar or the same preparation would be to use whole plant remedy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, 100%. So that's the difference between the tincture and the oil. So the tincture is a whole plant cold extraction.
And with our tincture too, we take quality over quantity, and we've been doing it for a lot of years and a lot of patience, because our tincture is distilled for over a year before we filter and bottle it.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've had people coming in lately that are using like 3 droppers full compared to 3 sprays. So it's a huge difference, and it's like I said, it's been blowing our minds with what people are coming to us and telling them how well it's working.
I'll give you a good example, guys. Here's a good example. So if you were going to buy a good Scotch or a good whiskey, when it is a 10-year-old Scotch or whiskey, what kind of price are you paying? If it's a 20-year-old Scotch or whiskey, how much more are you paying? It is what we are doing is similar to that quality. We right now have a bottle that we have now is actually over 2 years old, and that one bottle will be put away for a 10-year anniversary that we will be specially announcing.
Wow, yeah. Wow. And it makes all the difference in the world. I know what your comparative there. I know for myself, 1 to 2 sprays, sometimes 3. If I'm at an event like 420, I can use up to 3 sprays to get relief. So the thought of using just a few drops, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's like I said, our minds have been blown by what people have been coming back and telling us. It's just like
we have a very strict warning when people bring us other products and say what they've been using, and we say like, don't ever attempt this with ours because you're going to go have a good night's sleep for like a good 12 hours. Don't use ours like theirs.
That's the worst that can happen, actually, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're just gonna go away for a sleep.
Just go have a little nap.
Yeah. I do like to give people. People have this. They'll hear, there's no side effects, or you're just, nothing. Well, some people's side effects are genuine to them, and I think in the industry that we're in, we have to be respectful and acknowledge that, and have compassion for that.
Everybody's different.
Yes.
Everybody is different.
Yeah.
You get older people that, they may feel that their heart is racing and that they need to go to the hospital. Well, granted, somebody that smokes marijuana for years is going to laugh that off and say, that's never going to happen. But it's real for that person.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Absolutely.
Person eating one cookie and saying, take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. But
absolutely. It does.
It was like our company, that's why we explain to a lot of clients, like when they meet us, okay? So now you know the person that has grown it organically. You know the person, the baker that's making it. You've met the 2 people that only touch everything in our friggin' store. The worst thing that's going to happen to you is, no, you don't need to go to the hospital. You need to have a good night's sleep, and that's what's going to happen. And then you know to dial yourself down with Doug's Candyman's product.
That's pretty much what I was going to say. I think most times with the heart palpitations and stuff like that, it's when they don't go to sleep. If you would have just gone to sleep, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
So I don't know, I know you guys are looking at our website. So everything that you see on the website, that's all THC products. So we've just in the last 6-8 months, we've been developing more of our CBD line. So every single product that you see on the website will also be available in CBD.
And right now, our website is outdated. Presently, we have, as a Candyman, maybe tomorrow might go up. We never know. But we're at 113 items on our THC list. We are now starting to convert that into CBD. So our menu now will be at 226 items on our menu by the end of this summer.
And we're actually very, very proud of our CBD line. It was a lot of work getting it. We had to order the seeds and start from the very beginning, get them test it all out. The strain is called ACDC. It can come back up to 22% CBDs. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow, nice numbers for CBD. They're not usually that high. I've seen.
I know.
We were totally amazed when we had somebody test it that said that we need to get a higher testing quality because they couldn't test it past this point. And we're amazed, and just this response from especially elders that are now never have tried marijuana products that actually, it's kind of cute actually, that I had a couple come in and try a CBD lollipop. It worked phenomenally for them. They had no heads, nothing in the head. They got pain relief, sleep, relaxation with no psycho high. Then they came the next day and actually bought a gram of our AC/DC to try and go and puff their first marijuana joint that was CBD. And I
wow. Amazing. I mean, it can do so much.
When you see something like that, and you've got a 70-year-old, 8-year-old, and 77-year-old sitting there, and they're kind of doing a little giggle, you just kind of picture a picture in your head and think they're going in their house, probably hiding in a closet so their neighbors don't smell it.
It's good to see. It's good to see them reach out and give it a shot, though.
Oh, it definitely is, and we see this every single day. I mean, really, what could be better? Doing the job that you love, helping people every day.
And it could be a grandmother, great-grandmother, or possibly a mother that has brought a child to you that is okay, like the nurses that have children. And we have quite a number of children now that their parents have realized our products, and we help out, I believe, 4 or 5 youth now that are registered with doctors and their mothers and parents that are authorized to be able to use our products for them.
Exactly. That gives them a product that isn't smoking, so there's no concern about that, and it's a can.
Yeah. Well, especially if they're going to be using a product for their child. Do you think that they want to order it through the mail from an LP that's spraying it with pesticide and watering it with chemical?
Yeah.
You know, they may as well give their kid Ritalin then if that's what they choose to do, right?
Yeah. Where you got some nice organically grown meds.
Yes, 100%. Well, that's why I liked being in our home, because we want to be 100% transparent. People could come, and I don't have a problem showing them my grow room. They can go into the yard and see where all the fruit and the tea is all growing.
Well, you know what?
They loved that.
Yeah, and that was the thing. We actually kind of, you guys are getting a kick out of this, because we say this just about every other day. It's like, what did we do? Because it was nice being able to wake up, have a client, you have all 3 dogs, you walk downstairs. Yeah, we have a beautiful 1-bedroom basement suite that we had our store stuffed into that we could be renting out, and we will be doing, and this summer coming soon is a medicinal B&B at our house, so people can come and see where it's grown, where it's made, and have a nice, enjoyable weekend.
We still offer, though, for clients, if they want, they can make an appointment with us, and we will bring them to our home and show them how we grow our cannabis, where everything is made. Because that's how transparent we want to be.
From the break, okay?
You know, I think people need that.
Yep, they do. Okay, we'll talk more about that when we come back from the break, and we're going to hear some more from Les Mosquitoes and their song "Justice," and then when we return, Kim and I will continue our conversation with Doug and Michelle Sikora of S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop. You're listening to Pace Radio Show here at Lifestyle Radio.
You're into that bubblegum again, aren't you?
Hey, shh. I won't tell anybody.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Every soul is equal. Overcome the system and rise above the evil. The poor keep getting stronger and the rich can't feed their hunger.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
Man, have you been to Canadays yet? Canadays, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck, Crop King, and wholesaler Nexus. Canadays. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? Canadays can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. Canadays. Have your say without saying a word. Canadays.ca.
Hi, this is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show. Are you keeping pace, as in keeping people advocating cannabis education? If you're not, and you're a cannabis consumer, then why not? Others are working hard every day to help educate people about cannabis so you can enjoy your daily 420. Get involved and speak out. Be loud and proud so that you can keep pace. Tune into the Pace Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear about people advocating cannabis education here on lifestyleradio.ca.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
Let's all unite, exactly. Welcome back to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at lifestyleradio.net, as well as at Spreaker every Wednesday night. Just don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, Mixcloud, as well as on iTunes as well. Tonight's bumper music was, as I said, Les Mosquitoes. If you enjoyed tonight's song, then I suggest that you look them up online and see if you can find them on YouTube. That's where I usually find the stuff. So. Today on the show, we got Doug and Michelle Sikora of S&M Medicinal Sweet Shop, and a joint host, Northern Kim Cooper. Kim, we're into the last segment.
Yes, we are.
Before we went for the break, we were talking about their bed and breakfast. Before I hand you back over to them, Doug, I saw during your opening you have a suit. Do you have a special suit? Doug?
Oh, you broke up on my phone. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. During your grand opening, you have some special suit that you wear, a big cannabis suit?
Again, sorry, Al, I'm going to put you off the speaker, but my phone, for some reason, I can't hear it probably. Okay, what was that question again? Sorry.
Okay, we'll try that again. Do you have, from what I saw, a special cannabis suit?
Yeah, we do. My suit. Oh, I thought you said.
Your suit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. you're going to talk about my suit.
There's a reason.
Candyman
There's a
has
reason
to have
why
a
I brought
special
it
suit.
up.
And
There's
new colors coming soon. You like that one? Yeah, that suit. Well, we had a lot of people tell me not to do it, but I did it. And that suit, I walked into the court on our first trial day, because us being the first company that actually went to trial, I thought, what better way to promote what I do, and I'm not ashamed of it, because it saved my life, and I'm trying to do it to other people's. And that's why I walked in there with that suit. And the judge's face was not disgusted. It made his day.
All right, because I'm actually broadcasting from a store in the front window at Canada.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what's going on with my phone, but I every time you say something, it's like I only hear part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just going to let you know that the fellow here at this store, he also owns the same style of suit as you.
Oh, I've seen a couple other people have got it too, and it's like, yeah, that's the suit. That's that you wanna, yeah. I got the hat, I got the shoes, I got the socks, I got the whole outfit.
Yeah, Wayne Matheson at Canada's, where Al is broadcasting from, also wears that suit.
Yeah. And
you probably didn't notice Doug's also got a pot leaf that's shaved in the side of his head too.
Oh, Wayne doesn't have one of those.
Yeah, when you go extreme, you got to do it extreme. So, yeah, the pot leaf got shaved in the side of the head, got the hat, got the shoes, got the socks, got the whole thing. If you're going to go in the camouflage and go into court, you might as well go full extreme.
And the fact that the judge wasn't offended by it, that's great.
I see, that's what some people said to me. That's funny you say that, Al. Okay, because I'm going to say, because I had a lot of people give me controversy saying that I was going to discuss and offend the judge. And I went, you know what? In actuality, that suit, after it was tailored, done, custom fitted to my body, was probably my most expensive suit that I have. And I have a lot of nice suits, okay? Because that's what I do now, is I put on nice jackets and nice stuff. I was in construction for 35 years. That was my love of life. That was taken away from me, and I was not allowed to do that anymore because of my injuries. And now I have a new love of life that I, instead of put construction gear on and smell like a dirty shirt, I get to have a shower and put on beautiful clothes.
That's right.
It's quite a change.
There you go.
Okay,
there
Kev.
you go.
Back to you for the bed and breakfast.
There we go.
You got her, man. I mean, like, if you would have said to me 7 years ago that I was going to be help saving people's lives and other things that me and Michelle do, and we dedicate ourselves to do this, that, that's one thing, is that no matter what, if a cancer patient came to us, I don't care. Michelle doesn't care. We've already helped out a lot of people. A couple are not with us any longer, unfortunately, because the system got to them, and they basically, after we got them healthy, said, hey, and put them on new chemo, and basically killed them 3 months later. It was one of the saddest things that somebody that we and their family grew to know, that we lost this person because of the system doing it and saying because of what we did for them, got them 30 pounds heavier, full of energy in 3 months, that they said, oh, you're doing better, so they treated him with another therapy, which basically ended his life. And at the end of his life, which is the saddest part, is that the doctors in palliative care got his wife to phone Michelle to bring our stuff to the hospital so she could give it to the doctors to give it to him in the last days of his life, because our product was the only thing that actually, see, this one's a little emotional for me, guys, because I'll tell you, when you hear this, and because he didn't listen to us and his wife didn't, that man probably would still be here today. But he didn't, and he listened to doctors that convinced him into doing this therapy that actually killed him. But in the last moments, days of his life, he was using our product. Was the only thing that gave him relief. No medicine, no pharmaceuticals, nothing but what our product was giving him relief for his last days of his life. And that is one of the motivations that me and my wife will, it's sorry guys, I'm going to let Michelle take over because I'm getting a little emotional here.
Yeah, that's right. When you can help somebody like that and you see that you're improving their quality of health and their life, and then all of a sudden that's taken away from them.
Yeah.
And they end up on the wrong end of all that. That's sad, I guess.
Well, me and Michelle have both lost family to cancer, and you know what? If we would have realized years ago what we could have actually helped our own family with, it disgusts us with, but now we are looking future, and we look at what we're going to be able to help other people and their families with is what we look at. That's it.
You know, we're constantly asked, well, what about recreation? You know, aren't you guys excited recreation is coming soon? I'm like, you know, that's all great and good and all that, but that doesn't really play a factor into what we do. You know, we will always focus on the medicinal side of cannabis.
Yeah, and you know, some people worry that under legalization, that the medicinal end will be pushed off to the side.
Yeah, I know. You know, the patients have fought for decades to get it to where it's at now, and then it just seems like, bam, I know it's not overnight, but in comparison, it would seem like overnight that recreation is coming. And, you know, people think that there's this thin line between the two. Well, it's not a thin line. It's an extremely broad line, you know, and people need to realize that. I know we all do.
Yes, we do. All righty, Kim.
Yeah, actually, that's a question that I've been asking all of my guests in the last few weeks with legalization looming for non-medicinal users. Do you think that will have any negative impact or repercussions on patients and patients' rights that we've gained to date?
No, I don't really think so. I don't think, in the eyes of society, no, I don't think it'll have a negative impact. Where I think it will have a negative impact is how the system gets structured. Like I was saying, there's going to be not much of a comparison for patients that are needing it for a medical requirement versus somebody using it for recreational.
Right.
You know?
We're just wondering, like, depending, I guess, on what kind of a platform they choose to roll out recreational legalization, if they decide that they want to go with the LP system that's currently used for medicinal users, the big concern for some patients is the product availability.
I want to say something about this recreational, Kim, okay? Because one thing, okay, this is the hypocrisy of our frigging government. So
I understand all that, but we have to live within the guidelines we have.
You have to be 19 to buy tobacco or alcohol. But they're saying that you can buy marijuana at 18. Is there not no stupidity in that?
No.
Right there alone, if everybody thinks about this, the stupidity in that alone is like, no, how can you do one thing, and it has to be equal in that. The government has to realize that you can't say, oh, it's okay for recreational at 18 to smoke it, blah, blah, blah. Well, then somebody's going to say, well, why can't you smoke cigarettes at 16? And then there's going to be this whole thing. If you do it at the same age group, because we've already discussed this, me and Michelle, that no matter what, even if they say 18 is the legal limit, sorry, on our sign, it is 19 plus, just like an illegal adult in Canada to drink alcohol, basically in most provinces except for Alberta.
Okay, but hold up. You're incorrect on that, though. The legal age recommended by the federal government is set at a minimum age of 18 with the provinces dictating what that province's legal age is.
Yeah.
Because the lowest age, no, hang on, because the lowest age limit countrywide for drinking is 18 in the province of Quebec. So they have to make it the lowest age. So if the province that you live in has a legal drinking and smoking age of 19, then cannabis consumption will also be set at 19.
This is what I'm saying. Sorry, I might have said it wrong, King. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is that the government needs to get it together so that all the provinces are equal, the ages are equal, whether it's 18 or 19 for drinking, smoking, marijuana. Put one minimum age group. Don't up and down it between provinces, because that causes controversy.
Down in the U.S., where each state's got different age categories for drinking. Some places it's 21, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or they were talking about 25. Okay, well, no, that's wrong. How can you put? They were talking before about 25. So let's just get the whole Canada together. Like we were saying about the provinces, instead of BC going first and then Alberta or whoever. But no, it's Justin, get your shit together, basically, and do what you said to get voted in as our prime minister, because your dad is turning over in his grave right now, is all I'm going to say.
Everybody go to the bedroom and smoke, because it doesn't matter what goes on in the bedroom. It's between the
Oh, nowadays they even want in there, so let's not even get into that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's, under the legalization, some of the stuff that I've seen, they talk about tracking it from seed to harvest. And there was a guy that was on CBC that talked about Colorado, where they were doing something similar like that.
Yeah. Well, that's essentially what Doug and Michelle are doing. Seed to harvest, into product, and out the door. No middlemen, and nobody else is touching the product. You can track it from its origins on exactly what you're consuming. So it can be done.
That's kind of what we see, like, our future going. Doug's son, Chad, just graduated from college. He's now a Red Seal chef. So where we would love to be able to open up a non-medicinal restaurant ran by our family.
Yes.
But it basically, again, is like a lot of the restaurants and that are up in Kelowna. It's like a 100-mile radius. It's all homegrown, home done. They're buying from local suppliers. And we've done the same thing of sticking to our guns, that basically you do it our way, or, we have a lot of people that want us to supply their stores, but we refuse that, because you can't put other products in your store that aren't done the way we do it, because there could be a problem with that. That's all. That's why we have refused to put it in other stores.
Yeah, makes sense. You've got a great platform. Lots of future plans, I see. We talked a little bit before the break about your B&B idea and restaurant ideas. Whole bunch of stuff going on in the future for you guys.
Oh, we've got so many ideas. I've got a clothing line all in my head, of course, at this point, but it's up there.
It's up there. We've already got it kind of slowly. We're earning some of it, but yeah, it's slowly coming out. We're trying to actually, we want to do a medicinal tea house beside our store, so people can have some fresh baking and a tea and relax in Gibson's and watch the view off, because we have a beautiful view out of our shop.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so, the future, is wide open right now.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
We actually had a couple come in last week who are both retired military veterans. Both had seen combat. They both suffer from PTSD. They're a married couple of 25 years. And they've been touring around BC, stopping at all of the dispensaries, because they want to be able to open up a dispensary strictly for veterans And after touring down from Edmonton all the way down to here to the Sunshine Coast, they decided that they want to work with us.
Nice.
Strictly dealing with war vets. So they're right now in the midst, they're up in the Okanagan. We told them, go and talk to your mayor. Go and talk to your town council. They should be welcoming you two with open arms. But that's,
nice. Well, that's always a huge pat on the back
huge
when somebody wants to do the business model.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, Kim.
Go ahead, Kim. She didn't.
No, I was just saying that's always a huge pat on the back when somebody wants to use your business model.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I mean, they've been in the military their whole life. They have no idea about cannabis, how to grow it, how to do what we do. So they want to be able to work with us. Another thing that we're going to start doing with them, like we were talking about before, we rescue dogs. Another passion of mine would be able to train rescue dogs to be emotional support dogs for war vets. So we're working with these people. They actually just put me in contact today with Canine Companions, which is another service for veterans for service dogs. So we thought what a great thing to put together is to work with other veterans, working with vets, supplying them with cannabis products for their health, but not just that, but with rescue dogs, so the rescue dog can rescue them.
Just immersed yourself in the entire compassionate medical situations in the community.
Yeah.
Amazing effort put forth by S&M Sweet Shops and both you and Doug. Just amazing and great products.
Yeah, so that's where we see our future going.
Good. Well, talking about futures, it's getting to that time, and that is the time for a shout out, so we can let people know where they can find you or anything along that line.
Okay, well, we're located in Gibsons, BC, located on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. Our address is Unit 1, 706 Gibsons Way. Our store number is 604-886-0423. You can always email me directly at smtreats@hotmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and always check out our website for updates at www.smmedicinaltreats.com.
And your treats look yummy.
And they taste even yummier.
Yes, they do.
They look really good. That's right.
Yeah, they taste fantastic. Really good. Really good.
Well, I'm so happy you can enjoy them. And I don't think that you've tried any of the CBD, so I do want to send you some of the CBD, Kim, so you can try it out. Because I think you're going to be really impressed.
I'd love to. Nice. Awesome, I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Yes. We'll send a little care package for you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kim, have you got a shout out?
I do. My shout out this week is going to next week's 420 tour. I'm headed myself to Toronto on the 19th of April, and I'm spending 5 days down there. I'm going to so many venues, I can't list them all. My trip down is being sponsored by Legacy 420 out Belleville Way in Shannonville, and also by the Hayes Boutique in Brampton, Ontario. I will be visiting both of these locations during my trip. Check me out on Facebook and check out my itinerary. Come see me some on one of my stops.
And they're both past guests on the program as well, Matt and Tim.
Yes, they are.
Yep. Tim's doing a great job down there, making a lot of noise. So.
Absolutely.
All right. I just want to remind everybody to, if they're interested in some free stuff, educational information, go to the PACE website at pace-online.ca, and we will send you some free educational stuff, whether it's a magazine, DVD, book, whatever. I've got some stuff here that I can send away. And I'd also like to remind you that I'll be back next Wednesday with joint host Alicia Yashishin. I almost got it. Okay. I'll get it right eventually.
Yashishin,
yes. And it's going to be a show of owls. That's all I'm going to tell you. Al's going to be a very popular name next week.
Sounds interesting. I'll have to tune in.
Yeah. You can find the Pace Radio Show on Facebook, where you can like us there. We're on Twitter at Pace Radio. We're at on Instagram. It's the Pace Radio Show. As always, we always like to thank our sponsors. That's the friendly folks at BMA Hydroponics at bmahydroponics.com. CC Nexus, Canada's cannabis seed wholesaler at ccnexus.global. Always a big thank you to the man behind the baggie. That's Al Rapp. And huge thank you to you, Doug, and Michelle and Sakura for coming onto the program and giving us an update.
Well, thank you guys so much for the continued support and always getting our name out there. We really, really, truly, honestly appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Doug's had to go, but I'm still here. And, yeah, we love you guys.
Well, one of these days we'll have to get out west.
See you guys down this way.
Yes, we'll have to come out west.
Yeah.
Come and enjoy the beautiful Sunshine Coast. You might not want to leave.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at some of those pictures of those sunsets, man. I can understand.
That's the view from our house.
Nice, very nice. I don't know how you can get up and go to. Well, I can understand how you can get up and go to work, but yeah, to leave that spot.
Like I said, I'm doing the job that I was born to do. I love doing what I do. Helping people every day is my passion. I couldn't ask for anything more.
It makes that heart grow, just like it did with the Grinch and Stole Christmas. When you can help somebody, your heart grows 10 times the size.
It sure does.
All right, Kim, and always, Kim, thank you to you, and always, as always, thank you to our listeners for listening to the program. Thank you, and good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have